Okay, this is Denise Harris, and we're back with Sports Talk. We're going to go through the first 4 weeks of the NFL. Crazy stuff going on. What do y'all think about at least the first 2 weeks? No fans in the stands, but they got these, the tracks going with the hooping and the hollering. Do you think that affects how the players play? Interesting idea there. I think it affects them that there's no people up there. They're hearing these, sports fans, tracks. Kind of interesting to say the least. So, anyway, first week in the NFL, of course. We had some upsets. We had some, what we expected. But that all changed, in this fourth week. So, of course, Texans and Chiefs. The Chiefs won. That's a gimme. That goes pretty go. Packers and Vikings. Of course, the Packers are on a roll. Of course. Browns. Oh, they got their butts kicked that first game. All over they just got wiped. The Las Vegas Raiders. Oh, that's a mouthful, isn't it? It's really strange to hear that, but they are doing pretty well. Their first week, they won against the Panthers 34-30. So good job there. They're looking good, actually. And, of course, the Seahawks. You can't go against them. I mean, what do you think of the new Patriots look? And, of course, Cam Newton was out with COVID, unfortunately. Hopefully, he'll be back soon. And we'll talk about the COVID thing a little later in the show. So, definitely a lot going on. And the Patriots don't look like the Patriots, for sure. We're not used to seeing that. 49ers, if Garoppolo comes back, I think they have a chance. I'm moving ahead. Of course, the Cowboys lost. Oh, too bad, right? Steelers won against the Giants, of course. Broncos, oh my gosh. I don't know. It doesn't seem like they have the heart to play. I don't know. They really, they had a chance that first game, and they blew it. I don't know. They choked. I don't know what the deal is. Coaching change again? I don't know. The Cowboys did win their first week. I think that's the only one they won. And that was against the Falcons. They only won by 1 point, so not impressive as far as that goes. 40. Yep, that's week 2. Sorry. And, of course, my Saints won against Tampa Bay and Tom Brady. They keep saying, with Brady, oh, it's like a rematch. It's not like with Kansas City Monday night and the Chiefs. That wasn't a rematch. It's not the same team, so quit saying that. That was driving me crazy. Cowboys lost. Broncos. They could have had that game. They could have won that game. Okay, we're going to go through week 2 real quick. Bengals and Browns. Of course, Browns whooped. They got them 35-30. Bears, what happened to you? I don't know. Rams, of course, ran over the Eagles. The Cowboys did win by 1 point, so can't be too impressed. 49ers over the Jets. And I believe that's when Garoppolo went out and said they lost Nick Bosa too. And that was a crazy game because they lost like 4 major players that day. Packers, of course, won. The Bills over the Dolphins. You'd think that would be a gimme game. They only won by 3. So, Ravens, of course, over the Texans. Texans aren't even in the mix at this point. Patriots lost to the Seahawks. Las Vegas Raiders beat the Saints, which I was like, whoa. Good game, though. The Vegas Raiders seems really, that's another strange thing. 49ers over the Giants. The Browns over Washington, 34-20. The Bengals and the Eagles tied. Isn't that strange? So, Patriots over the Raiders. Wait a minute. Is that week 3? Sorry. Raiders over the Saints. Week 2, kind of crazy. So we'll go into week 3 real quick. 49ers over the Giants. That's a gimme game, I think. 34-20 over Washington, the Browns. Raiders and Patriots. The Patriots beat them. That's with Cam Newton, of course. Steelers won. I don't know. I don't like Roethlisberger. I don't know. Whatever, right? Okay. Cowboys lost over the Seahawks. Lions over the Cardinals. That's not even. Packers won over the Saints by 1 touchdown. That was a good game, by the way. It was really good. Chiefs over the Ravens. Yay! Go Patrick Mahomes, right? That brings us to this past week, which was a good week. Broncos did win. Yay! Over the Jets. I don't know if that's a good sign or not. And I mean, the Jets, come on. The Saints win over the Lions. Go Drew Brees. Woo! So they are 2-2 at this point. We have the Bucks over the Chargers, and they're lucky they won that. What do you think of Tom Brady as a Buck? I think we're going to talk about this a little more later. And Cam Newton on the Patriots. I can't rip. Sometimes, they had the Patriots play Sunday, and then they had the Bucks play Monday night, of course, because of Cam Newton. And it was kind of crazy because I thought, Tom Brady's playing twice, 2 days in a row. I couldn't wrap my head around that yet. It's kind of hard to wrap my head around yet that Brady's with the Bucks and the Patriots have Cam. So that was kind of strange. So you had the Bucks over the Chargers. Bengals over the Jags. That was their first win. They're 1-3. Seahawks over the Dolphins. Browns beat that Cowboys, sorry. Not. 49-38. So for 3 games in a row, they had 30 points or more. When was the last time they had that many points? 1964, people. 1964. They looked great. The Cowboys, they came back some, but no, that wasn't going to happen. Wow. They are looking good, dare we say? Not yet, but they beat the Cowboys, so that was usually a gimme game. So we shall see what we shall see. They're 3-1, tied for first. You had the Ravens over Washington. Boo. Colts and Bears. Oh, Bears, I don't know where you were. 49ers lost. Of course they had. Oh, God, that was. I don't know. Without these starting quarterbacks, they're in a world of hurt, these teams. So. Yeah, they're in a world of hurt without these starting quarterbacks. Because the Patriots and the Chiefs won because Cam Newton wasn't playing. And of all people, I about flipped who they had as a backup. Brian Hoyer, really? The Browns got rid of him, for crying out loud. He's been with 7 teams. And it's crazy. He's not... Well, he's been backup for a while since Garoppolo left, but the thing is, they probably figured they never needed them. Unfortunately, they did need him because of Cam. But it's freaking crazy. Brian Hoyer, really? No, that was a lost game from the beginning with that, unfortunately. The Packers won 30-16. And we have our game, Week 5, coming up, which we will get to. I'll make my picks. I did really well on the Fox NFL Pick 6. I got 5 out of the 6 but I only got half of the point spreads. So, but it wasn't too bad. So, not too bad. I'm going to talk about some injuries now in the first week. Okay. So week 1, David Montgomery of the Bears, groin injury. Kenny Galladay, hamstring. Those hurt, by the way. Have you ever had a hamstring? Oh my God. They're terrible. Miles Sanders of the Eagles, he's a running back. Devontae Parker with the Dolphins. Mike Williams with the Chargers. Westbrook with the Jags. Tevin Coleman for the 49ers. Oh, goodness. The Jets running back, Le'Veon Bell, suffered a hamstring injury. He did not return that game. Leighton Vander Esch, he suffered a fractured collarbone against the Rams. He's out for the season, I think. But he had to have surgery, apparently. So, yeah. That's a Cowboys linebacker. Broke his collarbone. Ooh. They're saying he may return to the field at late season, so we'll see. Green Bay Packers defensive tackle Kenny Clark, groin injury Lucas Patrick, shoulder Lane Taylor, a knee. There's been a lot of knees this year. Indianapolis Colts Marlon Mack is feared to have suffered a torn Achilles. Oh my God. Once you injure that Achilles, it's never really the same. So I hope he's able to return to football, because it'll give him problems from now on. That's a horrible, horrible injury. The Las Vegas Raiders, I still have a hard time saying that. Trent Brown suffered a calf injury. Linebacker Kwiatkowski exited early with pectoral injury. That has to hurt. Miami Dolphins wide receiver Devontae Parker, of course, hamstring. Baltimore Ravens Ronnie Stanley, ankle. He exited early against the Browns. Dante Jackson with the Panthers, ankle injury. A lot of knees and ankles, it seems like. Really. Browns offensive tackle Jedrick Wills did not return. He suffered a leg injury against the Ravens. Jacob Phillips was ruled out after suffering a knee injury. Tight end David Njoku with a knee injury also. Desmond Trufant, the Lions exit early with a hamstring. They must not be warming up enough. I don't know. Running back Justin Jackson did not return after a quad injury, the Chargers. So kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. Week 2, a lot of them went out. Crazy. Okay, Patriots running back James White, of course, he went out. But that was a horrible, horrible thing. I felt so bad for him. His father had passed in an auto accident, and his mother was in critical condition. That is something you just don't want to hear. So, apparently his mom is doing okay. She's coming back, recovering. So thank God for that. So prayers to that family. Also inactive for New England, quarterback Jared Stidham. Linebacker Josh Uche, tight end Dalton Keene, and defensive Miles Bryant and offensive tackle Kerry Cunningham. Seahawks wide receiver Philip Dorsett, foot injury. Seattle's other inactives include DJ Dallas, DeAndre Walker, offensive tackle Cedric Agabuhe, Rasheed Green, and defensive end Alton Robinson. And they had a disqualification. Quadre Diggs, who was disqualified in the first quarter for a helmet-to-helmet hit. So they need to quit doing that. Let's see, who else? LA Rams running back Cam Akers suffered a rib injury, did not return. Green Bay Packers wide receiver Devontae Adams hamstring in the second half against the Lions. Center Corey Linsley had a hand injury. Interesting. You don't hear too many of those. Lost the Chargers quarterback Tyrod Taylor did not play. He suffered a chest injury before Sunday's kickoff against the Chiefs. He was sent to a local hospital. He had difficulty breathing, but he was discharged Sunday night. Rookie Justin Herbert started in Taylor's place. So, yeah. New York Giants running back Saquon Barkley is believed to have torn ACL. His season will be done. Wide receiver Sterling Shepard had a toe injury. Christian McCaffrey exited early against the Bucs with an ankle injury. He'll have an MRI. He should have had it yesterday. We'll see if there's an update on that. Keep your fingers crossed. He's so awesome. Dolphins cornerback Byron Jones. He had a groin injury. Indianapolis Colts. Malik Hooker is feared to have torn his Achilles and will have an MRI. Who else? San Francisco, Nick Bosa, torn ACL. Quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo missed the second half. High ankle sprain. Hopefully he'll be back soon. If not this week, probably the next. So thank God it wasn't that serious. He'll be out. So we'll get him back. Raheem Mostert suffered a knee injury, did not play. He's believed to have a mild MCL sprain. He'll have follow-up tests on that to see. The 49ers, Bosa and Garoppolo, that was it. Until Bosa won't be back, but Garoppolo will. So, yay. At least some of them will be coming back. Tevin Coleman had a knee injury. Lineman Solomon Thomas was carted off the field with a knee injury. That did not look good, by the way, guys. It did not look good. The Broncos quarterback, Drew Lock, suffered a right shoulder injury. Did not return. This was versus the Steelers. Cortland Sutton exited early knee injury and cramping. Falcons defensive end, Todd McKinley suffered a groin injury. Any other? For the Jets, wide receiver Rashad Perriman had an ankle injury, another ankle, hamstrings. Chris Hogan had a rib injury, did not return. Jacksonville's center, Brian Linder, exited earlier with a knee injury. And DJ Hayden was evaluated for concussion. So, crazy stuff. Ankles and knees, man. Ankles and knees. Crazy stuff. Okay. Week 3. I don't think we're too many. Seahawks coach Pete Carroll said Jamal Adams suffered a groin strain. And did not return. That was against Cowboys. Running back Chris Carson, a sprained knee to some extent is what they called it. So, could be out a while. It depends how badly sprained it is. Okay. Deshaun Jackson and cornerback Avante Maddox were ruled out with hamstring and ankle injuries, respectively. Crazy. That was the Eagles. 49ers tight end Jordan Reed, a knee, an ankle. Emmanuel Mosley suffered a concussion in the first half, did not return. So that's crazy. The Giants safety, Jabril Peppers, suffered an ankle injury, another ankle. I should have kept score on this. I wasn't sure, how many there were. I know there were a lot of ankles and knees. He had a rib injury and things like that, and hand injury that are thrown in there, but it's mostly ankles and knees. It's crazy. Ram safety Jordan Fuller, shoulder injury. Washington defensive ends Chase Young with a groin injury, and Matthew, I can't even pronounce his name, and I won't disgrace him by trying, had an arm injury. Okay, that was against the Browns. Titans left tackle Taylor Lewan was carted into the locker room with a shoulder injury. Falcons wide receiver Russell Gage will not return after sustaining a head injury, so that's kind of thrown in there too. Excuse me. The Browns linebacker Tay Davis had an elbow injury. Wide receiver JoJo Nansen, knee, and cornerback Denzel Ward had a groin injury. Pittsburgh Steelers wide receiver Deontay Johnson was evaluated for a possible concussion. Vegas Raiders wide receiver Brian Edwards, ankle. Defensive tackle Daniel Ross, a foot. And wide receiver Rico Gafford, hamstring. I don't know with these hamstrings. Are they practicing enough? Apparently, they're not warming up enough. I don't know. That's kind of a lot of hamstrings. Buffalo Bills wide receiver John Brown, a calf injury. And Deion Dawkins, a shoulder injury. Colts wide receiver Michael Pittman, Jr., ankle injury. Tampa Bay Bucks wide receiver Chris Godwin, hamstring. Cornerback Sean Murphy Bunting exited early, groin and hamstring. The Jets offensive tackle Mekhi Becton did not return, shoulder injury. Chargers cornerback Chris Harris Jr. had a foot injury. Offensive tackle Brian Bulaga, back injury. That's not good. And wide receiver Mike Williams, hamstring again. I don't know if not having a preseason or maybe the work ethic that they would have had. Otherwise, maybe we're not warming up enough. Something's up with that because there's a lot of hamstrings and stuff and groin injuries going on. And usually after the preseason, they're pretty well warmed up. They're ready to go. You don't find that. Crazy stuff. Okay, this past weekend. Injury news for the week. What about O'Brien? Oh my God. That got fired. He was a GM too. Kind of crazy. Going on. We'll talk about that in a minute. Okay. Here's some notable injuries from this Sunday and Monday this past week. Austin Eckler of the Chargers. Another hamstring, but he was carted off the field with that. Bucks tight end O.J. Howard suffered an Achilles injury. Bucks coach Bruce Arians said after the game, team fears the injury will end his season. Running back LaShawn McCoy was ruled out with an ankle injury. Running back John Barner, concussion. Cleveland Browns running back Nick Chubb was ruled out. He suffered a knee injury. We'll find out about that. Keep your fingers crossed. He's so awesome. Defensive tackle Larry Ogunjobi, abdominal injury was ruled out. Hopefully he'll be back. Washington cornerback Red Stroman had a foot injury. Dallas Cowboys center Joe Looney suffered a knee injury. Jaguars C.J. Henderson shoulder injury. Tight end Tyler Effort concussion, left tackle knee injury. Panthers cornerback Eli Apple hamstring again. Texans right tight end Jordan Atkins concussion. From the Vikings at Harrison Smith, where he was ejected. New Orleans offensive tackle Ryan Ramczyk was ruled out with a concussion. Buffalo Bills Levi Wallace was ruled out, left ankle injury. Josh Allen, Bills quarterback, came down hard on his left arm Sunday, and had briefly had it looked at in the locker room. He returned, and they think he's going to be fine. So there you go. The Las Vegas Raiders defensive back LaMarcus Joyner, rib injury. 49ers defensive lineman Ezekiel Ansah might have suffered a significant arm injury Sunday night. He's feared to have a torn biceps. Ow! That would hurt. Cornerback Kawan Williams left the field, leg injury. Quarterback C.J. Beathard replaced second stringer Nick Mullins after the latter. Yeah, Nick Mullins, you were bad. You were bad. He had 3 turnovers. Okay. So that's your update on the injuries and the scores going on. It's all freaking nuts out there. It really is. It's crazy. So, Cam Newton, of course, tested positive for COVID. So they had to switch around the schedule, which was fine. But I really like their protocol with this because it's not, okay, none of you can play. Okay, no, that's not how it's working like they did with baseball. But to come back, you have to have 2 negative tests before you're allowed to come back. If you have it, of course, then you can't come back until you have 2 negative tests, which I think is more than fair. Could be a false positive, which some of them did have. So they have to be really careful with that. But I like the way they're doing it. They're not like, quarantining the whole team like in baseball and all that. Excuse me. And baseball, whatever. They didn't have a full season. I don't know if it was fair, yada, yada, yada. But all you baseball fans out there, I hope you're all enjoying it. Okay, so, yeah, I really like how they're doing this COVID thing in the NFL. I think it's it's working well. So there you go on that. Yeah, I can't wrap my head around these Patriots and Cam Newton. It just boggles my mind. Because, like they played the Chiefs, Patriots played the Chiefs Monday night. It was kind of strange because they're like, oh, this is a matchup for us. It is not a matchup, people. Get over it. Quit saying that. It is not the same Patriots team. You cannot compare that. Come on, you can't do that. It's just, Tom Brady isn't there. There's a few others that aren't there, so stop it. It is not. They kept saying, well, it's a rematch between them. No, it's not. Stop it. So that's what I have to say about that. So knock it off. And of course, Tom Brady with the Bucs. What do y'all think is going to happen with that? It seems like he's not used. They're not quite gelled together like he was with the Patriots. They knew each other's move in their sleep. It may take him this year to gel together with everybody. The team and him and the team. And I really, I don't totally agree with why he left the Patriots. Him and Belichick were together for 20 years. Personally, this is my opinion only, so don't give me hate mail on this. But I think the league and Roger Goodell had something to do with it. Way back, when the Patriots were, high scoring like 53-20 or something like that, they were asked by the league to not score so many points against their opponents. It's like, that's what they're paid to do. Don't interfere, knock it off. And of course, Brady and Goodell never did get along, and I don't blame them. I don't like the man myself. I wish he would just go away now. Just go away. But anyway, I think, they've been, the Patriots have been a legend dynasty for 20 years. And I think it was just getting old with them that they were always winning. Well, that's what good teams do, right? You can't fault them for that. That's what they get paid to do. So I really think there was some interference in there somewhere that maybe it'd be a good idea. Because the booking, your bookies and stuff, it was always the Patriots. I mean, nobody was winning any money if you think about it. But I really think that had something to do with it as far as the league goes because of everything. It kind of evened it out if you look at it now. They don't have perfect, they're not 4-0 and all that. The Patriots aren't and the Bucks aren't. So does that even it up, do you think? Or what? Let me know what y'all think about that. I'd appreciate it. And you can get a hold of me at KBLP. Speaking of which, LLC, I better post my stuff. And get a hold of me from there. Or any of my shows. So I'm on there. Yeah, I better get these posted. Just your thoughts on that. Interesting, to say the least, I think. It's just a thought that occurred to me because it makes kind of sense because none of it made any sense to me. I kind of got it, but I'm like, that's kind of lame, but what do I know? Okay. Wow, the Browns, I can't get over their scoring the past 3 games, 30-plus points per game. It's all of a sudden after they got beat so bad that first game, it was like, no more, that's it. They gelled. They're playing as a team. Jarvis Landry, southpaw, threw that touchdown pass to Odell Beckham Jr. That was something to see. It was beautiful. So they are looking good. If they can keep this up, it's like I had this meme on things are 2020, and one was Browns go to the Super Bowl. I don't think, but you never know. It's creepy. It's kind of crazy. I don't think that'll happen, but I think they'll be in the playoffs this year if this can keep up and nobody gets hurt. So that's the main thing. How about those Saints? Gotta love them. Saints is to be honest, yeah, I live in Ohio. Browns are supposed to be my team. But they're my second choice. My team, my first choice has always been the Saints. I love Drew Brees. I think he is just fantastic. He's a legend in his own time. And when you had them play the Bucks, it was great. It was great. It was great to see him beat them too. So, yeah, good. Now, we got injury reports. Poor 49ers, man. They got nailed the second week. So, okay, let me see. I'm trying to find it on here so I can post it. Any questions about anything, please let me know. I would greatly appreciate it. Where are you? And I'm sorry it took so long to get back to Sports Talk. I wanted to do it last Tuesday. Something happened personal. week before. It's been kind of crazy here. It's definitely been the year 2020. Let's put it that way. Kind of crazy. There we go. That's not what I wanted to do. There we go. It's great. So what do y'all think of the teams this year? Who do you think is going to go? The Packers are 4-0. Aaron Rodgers looking pretty good. Let's see what else. I'm busy typing, so hang in there. They've had some good matchups, I think. They've been good. The Jets and the Dolphins. You have the Jets and the... What is up with the Bears? Oh, my gosh. Crazy. So hopefully Jimmy will be back and the 49ers will get back on track. I'm having a hard time saying Las Vegas Raiders too. So I'm just going to call them the Raiders. They started off well in their new stadium, which is beautiful. I'm trying to get this typed in there. It's just been a crazy 4 weeks. I think with Brady with the Bucks, I think he'll make the Bucks better, but I don't think it's going to be this year. I don't think they're going to do. They're going to do okay. Don't get me wrong, but they're not going to be up where he's used to being. It's a change for him and for them, I'm sure, to get it together. He gets upset because he thinks they should know where to go. Well, he was used to that with the Patriots. Those guys just knew exactly what to do. There were no questions about it. Once in a while, they made a boo-boo, but very rarely. That's like with Cam Newton. He seems to be fitting in quite well with the Patriots. But again, it's a new team. He has to get used to the people. They have to get used to him and his way of, doing things also. So it's kind of crazy. If you have any questions, you're listening out there, get in the chat and ask me. I'll be glad to see if I can answer it for you. Or if you have an opinion on something, let me know. Yeah, if you feel strongly about something, let me know. But I do think that the way they're handling the COVID is very well. That I will give them. As far as anything else, I hope Roger is out of there soon. That's all I can say. I've had enough of him. That's for sure. I had enough of him last year. Anyway. So, let me see here. I get this done, and then we'll get back on track. Baseball, I don't even know if they should have actually started half a season, maybe a little less. I don't think they quite got the chance, and a couple of them, of course, one came down with COVID. They just they're not playing. It's a little different, that's for sure. For sure. Okay, I think we got that taken care of. One more to do. And we'll get that out of the way. I almost forgot to do it. Good thing I thought of it. hate what I do. I start talking and I forget about doing all that. Because we can't actually do it until we go live, so. Okay, where are you? I'm just glad we had football this year. That's all I can say. I'm just happy. I was so worried that, oh my God, they're going to cancel football. What am I going to do? I am a football junkie. I can't help it. I love to watch it. I love to talk about it. Anyway, so glad there is football. I don't care how bad or how good they are. I'm just happy that they're playing for sure. Okay. And what happened with O'Brien Sunday? That was crazy. That was a shock. Okay. Well, he is 0-4, so what can you say to that? Excuse me. They do have more stringent protocols. Okay. The updated NFL Players Association COVID-19 were discussed in a meeting on Monday. And it reflects their ongoing effort with the union to play football for the entire season. Revisions came following an outbreak within the Tennessee Titans organization, who are being investigated for COVID-19 protocol they didn't follow. That led to the rescheduling of the team's Week 4 game against the Pittsburgh Steelers and rescheduling of a Steelers game against the Ravens. Let's see. They're being investigated thoroughly for violating the protocol. So, New England Patriots Cam Newton and Kansas City Chiefs practice squad quarterback Jordan Ta'amu, who also had positive tests, which forced the league to postpone the Patriots game till Monday. This has brought about the league changing its protocols. Clubs are required to maintain copies of surveillance camera video of their facilities and practice areas for at least 30 days. So apparently somebody wasn't doing that. NFL security will regularly review footage to ensure compliance with protocols, such as wearing masks. After week 2, they came down on the coaches and stuff and staff on the field. They had to have them on. They didn't find anybody because a lot of people were doing it. Andy Reid's got the right to use a face shield. You can still talk and do your thing. But they have to have them on when they're on the field. NFL security will regularly review footage to ensure compliance with protocols. Teams are required to develop schedules that minimize the time players spend in locker rooms and to consider using locker rooms in shifts to employ better social distancing. Clubs must also assign lockers so members of the same position group are not concentrated in one area. All players and staff must wear masks at all times while in the club facility and on the practice field, unless a mask cannot be worn by players due to interference with their athletic activity. Groups of more than 3 tiered individuals, including players, are prohibited from gathering outside of the club facility or team travel. So that's the new revised edition. But the Titans are on the S list for this. They're being investigated totally. Let's see what else. Bill Belichick on Pat's Week 5 quarterback. We'll see how it goes. Cam Newton's status remains uncertain, but it's not entirely possible for him to be available for Week 5. Newton has not had symptoms, but that doesn't necessarily clear him. It can manifest itself, he could be asymptomatic. If Newton continues on this path without symptoms and tests negative twice after a 5-day period, he can return in time to play the Broncos. Of course, if you don't test positive right away, that could change. Belichick would not save Brian Hoyer, who got the start Monday versus the Chiefs, but was benched, or Jarrett Stidham would start if Newton was unavailable. Stidham did better than Hoyer, that's for sure. So that's going on. Raiders place defensive lineman Maurice Hurst on the injured reserve COVID-19 list. So, NFL overreactions. Is it time for the Cowboys to trade Ezekiel Elliott? Right away, he has recorded fewer than 100 rush yards in each of the first 4 games of the season. Zeke has ranked among the top 2 in carries and top 5 in rush yards. So he has really been... He's received fewer than 15 carries in consecutive games for the first time. Mike McCarthy isn't used to that, so Elliott is averaging 5.8 receptions per game and 68.3 yards per game. That would be a career low. He might not feed Zeke's appetite for carries. So if you're not going to use them, then why do you have them then? So Josh Allen is the top dual threat quarterback in the NFL. Whoa. With all due respect to re-signing MVP Lamar Jackson, it's Josh Allen who became the first player in NFL history to post at least 12 pass TDs and 3 rush TDs in his team's first 4 games. He is thriving as a passer in 2020, ranking second in pass yards per 331 yards per game, and third in passer rating 122.7. And he's a force in the running game. Crazy. As sensational as Jackson was right out of the gate, Allen's production thus far is actually better. Matt LaFleur is already a Hall of Fame caliber coach. Well, okay. The 2020 Colts defense is the best in franchise history. That's kind of scary. Houston Texans, they're firing a Bill O'Brien. And he was also the GM, and they fired him, so I don't know what they're going to do. Let Bill O'Brien be a cautionary tale for ambitious coaches out there. When all the power is invested in one person, it was in O'Brien's case. There's nowhere else for the team owner to turn when the results are unexpectedly poor. On Monday, just 4 weeks into the regular season, 9 months after he added the general manager title to his head coaching duties, he was fired. A stunning and swift fall for a coach who won the AFC South 4 of the last 5 seasons. There was nearly endless palace intrigue during O'Brien's 6+ season in Houston as the team went through 3 general managers, including O'Brien himself during his tenure. Crazy. excuse me. And the intrigue does not end with O'Brien's exit. His hand-picked executive vice president of football operations, the character coach, Jack Easterby, who was brought in by O'Brien to help him evaluate the organization and fire general manager Brian Gaine, then signed off on O'Brien's personnel moves, remains in his job. Now go figure that. The two were no longer seeing eye to eye, and now Easterby, whose roots are in the New England Patriots organization, is in a position to select O'Brien's successor. For now, assistant head coach Romeo Crennel, which we all know how he did with Cleveland, let's not even go there, will be the interim head coach. It's not an overstatement to say O'Brien, the GM, got O'Brien, the head coach, fired. O'Brien's deals, even before he got the official GM title in January, often swung for the fences. He acquired tackle Laramie Tunsil and receiver Kenny Stills from the Dolphins a year ago in exchange for 2 first-round draft picks. And that's been his biggest problem, giving away these first-round draft picks. And a second rounder. He shocked the NFL this spring by trading DeAndre Hopkins. Why would you do that? Hi. Glad you're here. So O'Brien that was crazy. Glad to see you're here, Ike. Glad to see somebody's in the chat. That's good. What do you think of all this? It's crazy. But anyway, he traded DeAndre Hopkins. Why would you do that? Mind-boggling. Here we go. He's one of the game's best receivers. He got running back David Johnson and a second-round pick. He traded Jadeveon Clowney for a third-round pick. And he let Tyrann go in free agency. And only weeks ago, he gave star quarterback Deshaun Watson a well-deserved 4-year, $160 million contract extension. Dear God. Oh. I am so glad to be back on. I'm excited. Got a full week. We got a full week ahead of us. He well deserved that $160 million contract extension. Oh my God! All that wheeling and dealing, and the results did not occur. The Texans are 0-4 after falling to the previous winless Minnesota Vikings. And it didn't help O'Brien that J.J. Watt came out after the Vikings lost and said, whatever we're doing is not working. So his players... I'm talking to Ike on here. Hi, Ike. He's kind of my boss. Apparently, there were requests for the sports talk. I'm so glad that you all want to hear it. So, but even his players, they have no confidence in this dude. Whatever we're doing, obviously it's not working. Obviously, Brian said every decision we made was always in the best interest of the team. Apparently, he wasn't very good at that. So, there were things that happen within the walls of an organization the outside public will never know. Okay, still his firing. The first major move by Cal McNair since he assumed control of the team after the death of his father was surprisingly early, especially considering his otherwise reasonably successful record. Brian was 42-48 and 2-4 in the playoffs. It's hard not to look at the record and wonder how Brian could be out of a job while Adam Gase, whose team is also 0-4 and who does not have previous playoff appearance in his New York Jets, is still employed. Yeah, the Jets. I don't know what's going on with this. It was just kind of shocking. Like, whoa. So crazy stuff. So how long will Carson Wentz go? I don't know. It's kind of crazy. We'll have to wait and see, right? That kind of brings us up to date. He's not real happy with Hoyer, obviously. I can't imagine why. Kind of crazy. NFL power rankings. Ooh, we all love this, right? Every week of football, it is a gift in this strange and unsettling COVID-19 world. Right now, I'm not even worried about it. It's good. Just do what you need to do. The Patriots and Chiefs were bumped out of their Sunday slot. The Steelers and Titans taken off the week slate altogether because of the Titans' COVID investigation. Previous ranked number one. The Chiefs won on Monday night because their defense showed it can still deliver a big performance even without the unit's best player. A groin injury sidelined Pro Bowl defensive tackle Chris Jones, but the defense still put pressure on the quarterback and forced 4 turnovers in a 26-10 win over the Patriots. Is this the same game if Cam Newton plays instead of Brian Hoyer? Oh yeah, totally different. It'd be a lot closer if not they won. Brian Hoyer needs to go back to whatever he was doing because he really sucks. I'm sorry, he sucks since he's been since the Browns, and he hasn't changed. He's been with 7 teams. Jared Stidham is a lot better. They should have put him in to start anyway. You get the feeling Patrick Mahomes would have made sure the outcome would have been the same either way. Chiefs are 4-0 for their 4th consecutive years. Crazy stuff. Number 2. Number 1, Kansas City Chiefs. 2, the Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers' comeback season might be the only good thing that comes out of 2020. He was brilliant on Monday, completing 27 out of 33. Hey, Jenny. Oh, so good to see you. Thank you for being here. You too, Ike. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you being here. So he completed 27 out of 33 for 327 yards and 4 touchdowns and a 30-16 win. Thank you. Thank you. I love doing it. I really do. Oh, I just want to say this on the sideline while I'm thinking of it, because if I don't say it, I'll forget. When the Browns play the Cowboys, okay, Baker Mayfield only had 165 passing yards, I believe, against the Cowboys. I think it was a little over 500, and they lost. I don't know where they were throwing the ball to, but but they got 500 passing yards. Where, I don't know, because they didn't win. It was crazy. But anyway, getting back to Aaron Rodgers, okay. And he has his 2 top receivers out, Devontae Adams and Alan Lazard, missing the games with injuries. The new playmaker in town, tight end Robert Tonyan, who lit up Atlanta's secondary for 3 touchdowns. Okay, 3. These are your NFL power rankings. Number 3 is the Ravens. Now that's more like it. 6 days after a humbling loss to the Chiefs in primetime, Lamar Jackson scored on a 50-yard run and threw 2 more touchdown passes with a win over Washington. Well, that's kind of a gimme game. I don't know. We'll see. Baltimore looked nothing like the discombobulated unit that was lit up by Patrick Mahomes. So there you go. Number 3, number 4, Buffalo Bills, right? I don't know. Lost and missed the buzz over Josh Allen's huge year 3 leap. A suspect start by Buffalo's defense, one of the league's strongest units in 2018 and 19. The defense started again early against the Raiders on Sunday before delivering a vintage record second half of the game, forcing a punt and 2 turnovers in an eventual 30-23 win. If they hadn't gotten it together, they'd have lost this game. The Bills are 4-0. Excuse me. The Bills are 4-0 because they no longer need the defense to be perfect to win the game. They have an offense. The Allen-led offense hums week after week, so there you go. And Stephon Diggs proved again why he was the best offseason acquisition. Okay, number 4, Pittsburgh Steelers. Okay, me. There's nothing the Steelers can do but roll and adapt after the Week 4 showdown with the Titans, which was rescheduled for Week 7 because of the Tennessee Titans COVID outbreak. The rearranged schedule means the Steelers will now play 13 consecutive games to close the regular season. And it gives Mike Tomlin's team even more incentive to land the number 1 seed. We'll see. Number 6, the Seahawks. Progress for the defense, of course. It's an injury-ravaged unit ranked 32nd in football entering Week 4. Glad you're here. Good to see all of you. Yay! I missed everybody. Okay. They delivered a much better performance on Sunday against the Dolphins. Guys, we're talking about the Dolphins. To me, again, that's a gimme game. Okay, for the Seahawks. Anyway. Keeping Miami out of the end zone until the game's final minutes in a 31-23 win. Russell Wilson, surely relieved he didn't have to win another shootout, delivered a pedestrian performance, of course, by his standards. So there you go. Number 7, Tennessee Titans, which they're in a load of crap right now with the league. So we'll see what happens. Of course, the outbreak of the positive COVID test within the organization forced the team to go dark in Week 4 and presents a massive non-football challenge in the middle of the season that started with much promise. Supposedly, they're being investigated for not following the COVID protocols. So they are investigating them, and if they have violated that, there's going to be some big fines issued. Good news came yesterday that the team received no new positive COVID tests to start the week. And today, apparently. Okay? So that's good. They had 21 members of the organization test positive. And of course, as we all know, this is a different animal altogether. Rank number 8, Power, Tampa Bay. He's the greatest to ever do it. That was Bucs wideout Scott Miller after Tom Brady threw 5 touchdown passes in a 38-31 win over the Chargers. Tampa Bay's 3rd consecutive victory, so they are also 3-1. This was a version of Brady we didn't see last season in New England, and Week 4 offered definitive proof that the legendary passer can still be an elite player. But Breeze beat him. Go Drew. Anyway. Brady was accurate with his mid-range throws and showed a nice touch on deep balls. So, number 9, the Rams. They fell into the trap of playing down to the level of an NFC East opponent in Week 4. Sean McVay's team is better than the Giants across the board, but it took a 55-yard Cooper Kupp, go Kupp, touchdown in the 4th quarter and final red zone stop to ensure a 17-90 win over New York's other winless team. LA managed just 122 yards of total offense. Ouch. Number 10, number 10, the New England Patriots. Right about now, Belichick is thanking his lucky stars another team didn't aggressively target Cam Newton this offseason. With Newton sidelined because of a positive COVID test, their offense was unable to avoid killer mistakes in a 26-10 loss to the Chiefs on Monday. Brian Hoyer, like I said, was benched after an air-filled performance. I was so ashamed. I really was. He's horrible. He's been with 7 teams. What does that tell you? He's horrid. Jarrett Stidham threw 2 picks in relief, though Julian Edelman owes his quarterback an Apple Watch after his drop. Oh, no. But he performed better than Hoyer. Come on. Rank 11 right after them, Saints. Entered week 4, missing 6 injured starters while enduring the team-wide drama of a COVID-19 scare that led to the Saints not learning the point-of-care test results until 3 a.m. in the morning, so nobody was sleeping. Despite the obstacles, the Saints got it done between the lines, ruling off 5 unanswered touchdown drives to wipe out an early. They were losing 14-0, and they came back, and that was all she wrote. 35-29 win. Alvin Kamara, he is the best running back there is. Woo! He had 119 yards from scrimmage and his league best 7th total touchdown. Drew Brees averaged nearly 10 yards per attempt in a day of his vintage efficiency. Yay! The Colts are ranked 12. We won't even go there. 13 is the Browns. But you go Brownies. Beckham was a superhero. Jarvis Landry, yeah. Even without Nick Chubb, we kick some butt. The 49ers are 14, and so on and so forth. We don't even need to talk about the rest. Okay, let's talk about week 5. Let's do our picks. Okay, woohoo! I got my paper here, so I got to write it down. Let me get my paper, get my notebook here. Okay. NFL picks week 5. Let's see, I don't want all our schedules. I just want week 5. Okay. Who do we have playing? Okay. At 1 p.m. Oh, what a gimpy game. We have, 1 p.m. we have the Chargers at Washington. Who's going to win? Rams. I'm sorry. LA Chargers. I got to get used to these changes. So the Chargers at Washington. So Chargers are going to win. Okay, 1 p.m. Buffalo and Tennessee. Oh, this is Sunday. Buffalo, Tennessee. I think Buffalo's going to win. What do y'all think? Come on. What do you think, Ike? They're at Tennessee, but they're down players with that COVID thing. I think Buffalo's going to win. We also have Philadelphia and Pittsburgh. Eagles. I got to go against the Steelers. Sorry. I'm picking the Eagles. Vegas Raiders against the Chiefs. Ooh. I think that's going to be my upset game. That's going to be my upset game. I'm going to go with the Raiders on that one. Oh, I know. Horrible, right? 4 o'clock game. Miami, San Francisco. 49ers. 49ers will win over the Dolphins. Or down. Hi, Steven. Where you been? Good to see everybody here. Yay! Everybody from KBLP. Love you guys. I missed all of you. I hope you're doing good, Stephen. Glad to see everybody. We also have 425. Colts are at Cleveland. I'm going to go with the Browns, of course. I'm going to go with the Browns on that one. And then the night game, Seahawks against Minnesota. At the Seahawks. Oh, got to go with the Seahawks, man. Monday night, New Orleans. Oh, what the heck is that? Is that the LA Rams? It looks like the LA Chargers. And the Rams against Washington. They got a new logo, and I don't like it. Because the Chargers play Monday night. I am sorry. I'm still going to pick the Rams over Washington. Anyway, Monday night is wait a minute. Minnesota Vikings. No, Monday. LA Chargers in New Orleans. Okay. Jeez. Monday. It's the Chargers at New Orleans, and the Saints are going to win. Okay, so I could spell it would be nice. Okay, so that is week 5 coming up. Pick the Rams over Washington, Buffalo over the Titans, Eagles, I'm picking over the Steelers, Raiders over the Chiefs, that's my upset game. I like to see it just 49ers over the Dolphins, Browns over the Colts, the Seahawks over Minnesota, and the Saints over the Chargers. My picks. You guys need to get your picks. And let's see how we do this week. I did real well on the NFL Pick 6 Sunday, Fox. I got 5 out of 6. My team's won that I picked. But I only got 3 out of the 6 point spread. That's what killed me. So I picked the Browns, but I sure did expect them to win by 11. So, but I did pick them to win. So I did quite well in that. We'll see how I do Sunday. So, again, thanks for joining me tonight for Sports Talk. I hope maybe I can join me one night again. We can talk about football. Stephen, if you want, you're more than welcome. Anybody's welcome, please. You're more than welcome to join me. And again, this is brought to you by KBLP LLC and King's Cannabis. Yay! You get an email. How does that work? Because when I go in, it should just go to your messenger. Well, shouldn't it? That's weird. I don't know. That's kind of weird, Stephen. I don't know. I send everybody, as it goes live and then tags. So it should have tagged you. Everybody. Anyway, every Tuesday now, I will be on SportsTalk. So anybody who wants to join me is more than welcome to. We can debate, discuss, whatever. Make our picks. So anytime, guys, anytime. I'm just so glad the football season. I was so worried that it was going to be like baseball and was going to take me off and all that good stuff. So, again, that wraps it up for tonight. Glad everybody was here. Jenny, Steven, Ike, Evangelina. I'm so glad to see you guys. I really missed it. I really did. And I'm so glad you're here. And I'm trying to get my dog Sheldon covered up here. Kind of crazy. But I'm so glad you're all here. It's so good to talk to y'all again. I miss it. Awesome. Thanks, guys, so very much for being here. And we'll see you next week on Sports Talk with Denise Harris and hopefully guests. Hopefully. So join me next week. Just want to give a few shout-outs to a couple of groups. Shout out to True Horror Junkie. We rock. Walking Dead Freak Show. The Walking Dead is back on. Hopefully tomorrow night, Michelle will join me. We're going to do Walking Dead and World Beyond. Let me know what you thought. Okay. Well, I'll keep my opinion still tomorrow night. And, of course, we'll see. Oh, I'm so glad you're here. Yay. True Horror Junkies, Walking Dead Freak Show, Ghoulies and Gremlins, Horror 3-Ring Circus, that's all that comes to mind. Chills and Thrills, Horror Lunatics, all you guys. Awesome. So we're back on schedule. Yay. Things are finally settling down here. Thank God. Anyway, and then Thursday, of course, DWD will be back. And of course, with a special tribute to Van Halen. Rock 'em in heaven there, Van Halen. Eddie Van Halen, R.I.P. Yes, that was so sad. That'll be Thursday. Friday, we got freaks in the basement. They're always lurking everywhere. And then Saturday, Encounters of the Strange Kinds. We're going to talk about some cults that have been out there and are out there. Kind of creepy. So that's the lineup for this week. So have a great week, guys, and I'll talk to you tomorrow night. Peace out, y'all. Have a good one.